What's up, guys? This is What's My Game, and I'm playing Star Wars Battlefront Beta. This is how to dominate Walker Assault and find all the AT-AT and AT-ST locations, and you can dominate with scores like this. Just follow these simple how-to tips, and this will, I think, really help you, especially the beginners. Alright, so you want to be in Walker Assault, but you don't want to be on the Rebel side. Not because they're not good, but because they don't have access to the Walkers, and that's the whole point of this how-to video. So if you find yourself starting on the Rebel side, no big deal. Just start the game, and as soon as your feet hit the snow, quit. It's that simple. And don't worry, because any spot you leave open, other players will be able to fill in with the way the AI does it. And just so you know, if you don't figure out this already, you start on each side every other time, so that flops back and forth from Imperial to Rebel. So once you quit on the Rebel side, you'll then be able to restart right away, and then you can start on the Imperial side. There I am halfway down, and that's where you want to be, because they have access to all the cool walkers, and the walkers is what makes this really... I have an option for the Rebel side, but the Imperial side by far is the easiest and quickest way to gain experience and rank up, a ton of kills. So the first thing you need to do is get in a walker, right? And so later in the video, I'm going to show you where all these are, but every location is in this video at one place or another. So once you find a walker, and a lot of times they're close to the actual walkers themselves, so whether it's an AT-AT or AT-ST, they typically spawn in a circumference around these walkers, okay, in certain locations. The AT-AT is the most powerful vehicle, obviously, and the weapon I found that's easiest to use and most beneficial is the L1, which I don't know if you call it the fast herd or whatever. Zooming in is not real accurate because for some reason the lasers kind of dip down when you're shooting a long way, so just keep that in mind. It's a little bit to get used to, but this is very, very, very useful, especially if you can realize that. Get a rhythm with your finger with your L1, because you can't just mash it. And I guess you can, but if you kind of find a rhythm with it, you'll be able to fire pretty much consistently. I wouldn't say it's constant fire, but it's definitely a rapid fire. It's you can see there's a definite pattern there, and you can take out hordes of guys in a very, very quick amount of time with this. And you can see I'm just cleaning up, and really, if an enemy shows up on the map, I kill him. Now I can't do anything about it if there's no enemies in the immediate vicinity, because you can't turn left and right very far. And you can't control the walker. They're going to walk in a certain design path every time. But if they're in the map in front of you, you should be able to kill them. Focus on their spawn points and focus on places where they're trying to go, like the links, because they're trying to get there to connect them. So you want to make sure you're taking those spots out and just focusing your fire on them. Now the next one I want to focus on is the AT-ST. This one you can rack up just as many kills. Maybe not in each run, because the AT-STs are very vulnerable to even small arms attack. And of course, if people have ion grenades or if they have a smart launcher, then they can take you out pretty simply. And what I do to avoid that is I try not to get in that open field down there in the far north there. It's really open, and especially if you're staying on high ground, then people from far off can just take shots at you and they'll kill you pretty quickly. So I try to stay in this confined area here, at least while there's enemies in the area. Just like the other one, L1 is the most beneficial weapon that the AT-ST carries. It does have a cooldown period. It's approximately 3 to 4 seconds, but it's kind of like a shotgun approach. It launches these pods kind of in an arc type manner, and it can take out 5 or 6 enemies if they're grouped together pretty easily, because the blast radius is nice and wide and it kind of spreads out. It's really cool. Obviously keep firing your main turret, which is R2, but keep in mind, it just like your blaster, it can overheat and will need to cool down. So just keep your eye on that, and maybe come up with a rhythm with your hands again to kind of fire it so it doesn't overheat. Even if it does, it's okay, because you still have 2 other weapons. The weapon I haven't mentioned is R1. R1 is the rocket, and it is the most powerful weapon, although it does respawn the longest. So the cooldown period for that is probably 9 or 10 seconds, similar to a regular grenade. But I use those specifically on turrets and things like that, although you definitely want to use it and not waste it. If you've got a large period of time going by and you don't have any turrets to take out, then use that rocket like I just did, because it can take out enemies and it's got a big blast radius. The only thing is you want to save it a little bit for bigger things, and it's just nice to have on hand when maybe your L1 is reloading or cooling down, and same with your main turrets. It's just nice to have something available all the time. And when you see that guy running across the map and you've got nothing to shoot him with, it's nice to have it because it's pretty broad in the way it can kill people as far as the blast radius. Now, the key when you die, and you're going to die in the ATSD, is to be able to know exactly where your spawn locations are. Okay, so here's me just jumping out of one and showing you exactly where it's at. Okay, and I use this one a lot. It'll keep popping up for a while because it takes the walker a while to get there and then to pass it. Another point I want to show you is get out of the ATSD before it explodes. You can't always time this perfectly, and that's fine, but it'll save you a death. So right here, I just got shot by a projectile rifle, and I was about ready to die. So I just jumped out, and that saved me from dying. And then maybe you'll find another ATSD, or maybe you'll go on to shoot a couple more guys before you actually, get waxed. The other thing I want to show you is keep on the lookout for icons for either another ATST or another AT-AT. Again, these will pop up in the same spots. I've highlighted it in green. So here I am walking around in the ATSD, and I see an AT-AT come up, and I'm only at 21 damage or 21 health left. So I basically hop out of the ATSD and I run over to the AT-AT spot, hoping nobody gets there before me. But now I've upgraded from one to the better one. So just a nice little thing to keep tabs on is to know where those locations are, especially even when you're driving an ATSD, because you can always grab another one or upgrade. The last and probably most important thing is to know where the locations for these vehicles are. They spawn in the same exact places. And it depends on a couple of things. The walker has to be in a certain vicinity to these. So in other words, there's a circumference around them that these spawn locations will pop up. Okay. Also, there's only so many ATSTs can be on the map at once. I believe it's 2 or 3. So they'll only pop up when those guys die. So if all the ATSTs are taken up, well, then you'll just have to wait. And as soon as one of those guys dies, within a couple of seconds, an icon will pop up for one of those. And the ATSDs are popping up all the time, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just know where the locations are, and if you're in between fighting or whatever, just go to those locations and look for them, because they'll be there quite often, actually, the ATSDs especially. And this will really help you just knowing where they're at. And if you have to, rewatch it, because I did so much editing already on this, it was almost impossible to try to put all the locations in one little tiny spot of video. But all the locations that I found, and I've played this map dozens of times, is I put all the locations to where these spawn points happen, so you can kind of get an idea where they're at. There's no way to look at the map from overhead, so I couldn't mark them for you guys. But if you watch this enough or play the map enough, you'll be able to get comfortable with where these locations are, and that's really what's going to put you ahead of the game, is being able to grab these and hopefully not get shot by somebody while you're trying to freaking call them down. But that's bound to happen. So on this part of the video, I'm just going to show you where the locations are. A couple of them I've already shown you, but the other ones I haven't pinpointed. I'm going to show you where they're at, and some of them I'm going to go ahead and show more video how to run and get there, so you know where it's at on the map and get a better idea. So I'm going to let that run for a second. I'll be right back. So hopefully you guys find this helpful. Now I have had as many as 65 kills, and I showed you the 49. I couldn't dig up the 69 or the 65, and I found some other in-game results here: 27 kills and 7 deaths, and 27 kills and 10 deaths. And without digging through hours of footage, that's what I could find. But I usually range between mid-20s and mid-30s as far as the average on kills, and I'm usually getting between 5,000 and 6,000 each time, and sometimes I'll get more. But that's way better than average. It probably at least double, triple, because you can see everybody else is in the 1,000s or less. So this will enable you to level up very fast. I hope that you get to keep all the experience you've accumulated. I'm well over 130, 140 now, maybe even 150. This video was just showing you from that 149 kill one, but I hope you keep the experience when the game comes out. I know you'll get to keep all your star cards, so you can go ahead and grab everything, because when the game comes out, you'll be able to keep all the star cards you unlocked in beta. And one last thing, here's me trying to kill Luke Skywalker, and the freaking game backs out on me. So it is a beta, whatever. So great game. Hope you guys enjoyed the how-to. Have a fantastic day. This is What's My Game. See ya.